I'm going to tell you how not to take a trip to Mexico since summer is almost here. 4 years ago, during the ice storm in February, my husband and I got a group text saying we should go to Mexico this summer. Of course, everybody is really excited, so we agree, yes, well, I'll do it. It was me, my husband, our friends Dave and Allison, and another couple, Stephanie and Chris. So we have to make our plans. We decide we're going to go to an all-inclusive, adult-only resort in Mexico for 7 days and 6 nights. So an entire week without kids. Everyone was really excited. Leading up to the trip, a couple days before, I started to kind of not feel well. So I took all the green tea, echinacea tea, emergency tea I could think of in an effort to not get sick. So finally it's time to go, and we're overloaded with all of our overpacked bags. And we are on the way driving on 635 to DFW Airport, and we get a flat tire. Still okay. My father-in-law was taking us, and he's always extra prepared. So we left about 5 hours before our flight left. So we have plenty of time, change the tires, still get to the airport, everything's okay. We check our bags downstairs, and then go up to the ticket counter. When we checked our bags, important part, we realized, when we checked our bags, we got our boarding passes. Finally, we make our way to the ticket counter, and we realized there's a woman who works behind the counter that's not very friendly looking, and there's people getting very upset, and of course, I casually say to my husband, I hope we don't get her, and we do get her. We get up there, we have our boarding passes, she's just making sure the names match on our passports. She opens my passport and sees that there's a tiny little tear on the signature page, but the passport's still very much intact, just a small tear. And she tells us we cannot accept that. Of course, we get very upset. I'm crying. We ask to speak to the manager, and it turns out she is the manager, and there really is nowhere else to go. So we decide, okay, in full tears, angry, yelling, we're just going to walk down a little bit to another ticket counter and hope she doesn't see us. She didn't. We get there. The woman's like, oh, we can just put tape on it. It's fine. And I say, oh, thank goodness, because the woman before wouldn't let us go. And she stopped and said, oh, you can't go, then I can't accept it either. So, needless to say, we didn't get to go, and it was very upsetting. But this woman was much nicer, and she told us that we could go to the passport office downtown and get a passport expedited. And then hopefully leave on a later flight that day. So we had to call my father-in-law. He comes back to pick us up from the airport. And we have to find a Walgreens for me to take my passport photos. And of course, in the passport photo, I have like a tear-stained face, makeup running down my eyes. It was a mess. It's still the passport I use today. But we make it to the office. And they are able to expedite a passport, but not enough time for us to leave on the later flight that day. In fact, they didn't have another flight that we could take for 2 more days, which is okay because we still get to go. Our friends are wondering where we are. They're en route, but it's okay. So we finally let them know what's happening. We'll be there in 2 days. We say, okay, it's still okay. My luggage made it all the way there. My husband's luggage was still at DFW Airport. So after we get my passport, we go back to DFW Airport, pick up his luggage, wait around to see if mine ever shows up. It doesn't. 2 days later, we make it. Yay. We finally made it. And that's it. There was more, but I was good with time, so.